All right, today we are going way beyond just numbers on a tactics board. We're breaking down the 5-3-2, which is really more of a defensive philosophy. It's become an absolute fortress in the modern game, and we're going to uncover all its secrets. So, everything, and I mean everything about the 5-3-2 flows from this one core idea, central compactness. It's all about flooding the middle of the pitch, creating this human wall that makes it almost impossible for opponents to play through the most valuable real estate on the field. You see, the 5-3-2 isn't just about sitting back and defending. It's about dictating the game. It throws out a challenge to the other team. It says, go ahead, try to break through our fortress in the middle. Or you can go around. We're about to see exactly how it forces that choice. Let's start with the bedrock of the whole system, the back five. Now, this is so much more than just a line of defenders. It's this dynamic unit that perfectly blends rock-solid security with some really calculated aggression. And it's all thanks to some very distinct roles within it. So you've got 5 players back there, but they are not all doing the same job. Not even close. You've got one central organizer, the boss, holding down the fort. Then you have 2 aggressive outside center backs who get to step out, and 2 wing backs who are basically your first line of defense at wide. Let's dig into how they all work together. And here is where the genius of this system really starts to show. You have that central center back acting as the safety net, right? The classic cover defender. But then the 2 outside center backs have the license to be aggressive steppers, jumping into midfield to challenge attackers. And that right there is the system's key advantage. You get all this aggression without sacrificing stability. That incredible safety net behind them? Well, it completely unleashes the wingbacks. A traditional fullback in a back four, they might hesitate to push up. But a wingback in this system, they go attack the wide player. They can press high, they can take risks, all because they know one of those outside center backs is always ready to slide across and cover for them. Okay, so if the back five is the foundation, then you have to think of the midfield 3 as the engine. Their entire job is just constant, coordinated movement. They screen, they shift, and they support. That's it. Their responsibilities are crystal clear. First, they have to protect what's called Zone 14, that absolutely critical space right in front of the penalty box. Second, they screen all the passing lanes into the forwards. And third, they shift together as one single unit, always moving toward the ball to create an overload and just suffocate the space. And don't for a second think the strikers are just up there taking a break. Defensively, their role is crucial, but it's about being smart, not just about chasing guys around. They position themselves to block those central passes, acting as the very first line of that central shield. Their job is simple: make the middle a dead end and force the other team wide. And this brings us to the main tactical puzzle of the 5-3-2. Since we've made the center a total no-go zone, the opposition has no choice, really. They have to attack down the flanks. So, how does the system handle the very problem it creates? This is the key question. Any coach who uses this system has to have a great answer for this. The ball is going to go wide. That's a guarantee. It's what you want. So, what's the plan? Well, the system relies on 2 really coordinated solutions. The decision is pretty simple. Who goes to the ball? In option 1, the midfielder who's closest shuttles out wide. The cool thing about this is it keeps the back 5 totally intact. In option 2, the wingback steps up, which then triggers a little rotation behind him, with that outside center back sliding over to cover the space. Both of these require incredible coordination. But here's the catch. This is the system's main vulnerability. All that constant side-to-side shifting for the midfielders, it's physically exhausting. A smart opponent will try to whip the ball from one side of the pitch to the other, that's the switch of play, and they're hoping to catch those midfielders in transit and find a gap. So how do you counter that? Well, you get proactive. Instead of just reacting to the switch, you try to stop it from happening cleanly in the first place. You do this by forming a diagonal line on the side with the ball, using the wingback, the nearest midfielder, and the 2 strikers. It effectively walls off the easy passing lanes across the middle. And here's the really clever part. You're not actually trying to stop the switch entirely. You're just controlling how it happens. By blocking the direct route, you force the other team to play a long looping pass backwards. That little bit of extra airtime buys your whole team precious seconds to just slide across the field and get set before the ball even gets there. All of this work, the central compactness, the constant shifting, controlling the wide areas, it all leads to this moment. The ultimate payoff, making your own penalty area an absolute impenetrable fortress. When the play gets into that final third and a cross is about to come in, the 5-3-2 can just collapse into the box with incredible numbers. You have the entire back five plus the entire midfield three dropping in. That's 8 players. 8 players creating a massive numerical overload against the attackers.
And again, it's not chaos. The roles are perfectly defined. One center back's job is to aggressively go and attack that ball. The other two, they provide cover and depth around him. The midfielders are there to track any late runners arriving from deep, and, this is critical, to swarm the edge of the box to win any clearances or second balls. It's a system designed to just suffocate attacks at the final moment.
You know, this quote from our source material really just nails it. In this era of super complex, aggressive attacking football, the 5-3-2 brings back a sense of order. It's a way to reclaim control of the game's most important spaces and defend with absolute clarity. Which leaves us with a final, lingering thought. When a team executes this system perfectly, it seems impenetrable. You can't go through the middle, you're forced wide, but a coordinated trap is just waiting for you there. So it begs the question, if you can't go through them and you can't go around them, how do you break them down?